Nobody is talking about this, but we are. Last night, at the breathtaking Atlantis Paradise Island, the stage lit up with something far more powerful than just music. Ashanti, the R&B queen, performed at the Bahama Breeze Music Festival, and while her voice moved the crowd, it was her heart that told the real story. Fans caught a moment so raw, so personal, that it has everyone talking. She couldn't hide it. She couldn't fake it. She loves her husband so much. She let the world know in a way only Ashanti could. Right in the middle of her performance. But what exactly happened? Stay tuned and watch the clip to see what is going on, because this moment is changing the way fans look at Ashanti's love story forever. Now let's set the scene. The Bahamas, turquoise waters, warm breezes, and the electric energy of a festival unlike any other. The Bahama Breeze Music Festival has hosted stars before, but Ashanti's performance was different. The night wasn't just about her catalog of hits or her legendary stage presence. It was about vulnerability. It was about love bleeding through the lyrics. And fans swear they witnessed something deeper than just a performance. Ashanti stepped onto the stage draped in elegance, her signature confidence radiating from the start. The crowd screamed, phones in the air, ready to capture every second. She began with the classics, the hits that made her a household name. But then, something shifted. Midway through the set, as the music pulsed and the crowd swayed, Ashanti's heart seemed to take control. Her words carried more weight. Her performance had a hidden message. Fans later pieced it together. She wasn't just singing, she was declaring something. They said Ashanti poured so much love into her songs that it was impossible not to notice. And here's the kicker. During one emotional ballad, she reportedly put her husband's name into the lyrics of her performance. That's right. Ashanti personalized her music to reflect the man she loves. A gesture so bold, it immediately set social media on fire. Now, think about that for a moment. This wasn't just a slip, wasn't just a casual shout-out. This was a deliberate choice, a moment of raw intimacy played out in front of thousands. Fans gasped. Some cheered, others whispered. Was this her way of saying her marriage is her anchor? Was this a public declaration that her love will always shine through, even when she's on stage? This isn't the first time Ashanti has worn her heart on her sleeve. But the timing of this performance is striking. With so much public speculation around her relationship and her marriage, many wondered if she would keep things private, separating her personal life from her artistry. But last night, in the Bahamas, there was no separation. Love and music collided. It takes courage for any artist to merge their personal world with their professional stage. For Ashanti, it's even riskier. Every word, every lyric, every gesture is magnified by the spotlight. And when you openly bring your spouse into your music, you're making a statement not just to fans, but to critics, to the media, and to the industry. And Ashanti did it unapologetically. The crowd's reaction said it all. Some were screaming with joy, chanting her husband's name alongside her. Others filmed the moment in disbelief, eager to spread it online. And sure enough, within minutes, clips started circulating. Ashanti can't hide it, one fan wrote. She loves her husband so much, she put his name into her song. And just like that, the narrative was born. But here's where it gets interesting. Was this simply a slip of passion? Or a calculated move to show the world that her love story is as strong as ever? Did Ashanti intend for the entire festival, and eventually the internet, to witness such a personal display? Or did her emotions just get the best of her under those bright Bahamian lights? As soon as Ashanti's performance clip hit the internet, it was like pouring gasoline on a fire. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of them flooded with reactions. Some fans were swooning over her bold declaration of love, while others raised eyebrows, questioning if she went too far mixing her personal relationship into her music. The clip went viral within hours, sparking debates that are still raging online. Did y'all see that? Ashanti just dropped her man's name mid-song like it was nothing, one fan posted. Their tweet racking up thousands of likes in minutes. Another chimed in, "This woman can't hide it. She's too in love. And honestly, I'm here for it." But not everyone was cheering. Critics fired back, saying this kind of performance could make her artistry look less professional, more like a love letter than a concert. And that's where the split began. Team love versus team caution. On one side, fans argued this was the most authentic Ashanti they had ever seen, raw and unfiltered. On the other, skeptics said mixing romance with music has always been risky, especially for someone as heavily scrutinized as Ashanti. One fan even commented, "Careful girl, the industry will use this against you." But let's be real, Ashanti is no rookie to criticism. She's been in this game long enough to know that whatever she does will spark a conversation. The difference this time? She didn't care. She leaned into it, almost daring the world to watch her wear her love proudly. That alone made the performance iconic, regardless of where you stand on the debate. Meanwhile, clips from the Bahamas performance started trending under hashtags like "and Ashanti in love," Bahamas performance, and even marriage goals. Fans from around the globe were stitching the moment on TikTok, some cheering, some mocking, but all of them glued to the drama. And let's not forget, in today's culture, when something trends this hard, it becomes more than a concert moment. It becomes a pop culture event. But here's where it gets even more dramatic. Some fans claimed that Ashanti's husband himself was in the crowd that night, subtly nodding along, smiling as she slipped his name into her song. Whether that's true or not, the rumor fueled the narrative even further. Suddenly, the performance wasn't just about Ashanti singing, it became about the couple's love story unfolding live on stage. Of course, the internet never stops at admiration. The skeptics went digging, pulling old interviews, resurfacing clips where Ashanti talked about keeping her private life private. "So much for that," one critic posted. She couldn't even make it through a set without putting her man on blast. Others said this was proof her relationship is taking center stage over her music. But the Love Army clapped back hard. "She's a grown woman. She can sing about who she loves," one fan tweeted. "Y'all act like Beyoncé doesn't sing about Jay-Z, like J-Lo doesn't dedicate songs to her men. Ashanti's just finally letting herself be vulnerable. And you can't stand it." That comment alone gained over 20,000 likes. And then came the think pieces. Bloggers and YouTubers started dropping videos analyzing every lyric, every gesture from the Bahamas performance. Some called it a brilliant PR move. Others labeled it a reckless overshare. But one thing's for sure. Ashanti had the world talking, and when the world is talking, the numbers don't lie. Streams of her music spiked. Her name dominated trending charts. The performance wasn't just emotional, it was profitable. Ashanti has always been known for her sultry voice, her ability to pen love songs that resonate, and her undeniable presence on stage. But when it comes to her personal relationships, she's kept things notoriously private, at least until recently. That's why this Bahamas performance hit different. It wasn't just Ashanti performing a song, it was Ashanti stepping into vulnerability, something her fans had rarely witnessed in real time. For years, Ashanti was the subject of speculation when it came to her love life. From her long-time on-again, off-again relationship with Nelly to being linked with other industry figures, she's had her fair share of public scrutiny. But she's always carried herself with grace, never giving away too much, never letting her private life overshadow her artistry. Until now. And that's exactly why the Bahamas performance stands out. This wasn't just another show at another venue. It was a deliberate statement, a declaration that love is not something she's willing to hide anymore. It was a turning point, not just for Ashanti as a performer, but for Ashanti as a woman embracing every part of her truth. Of course, this isn't the first time we've seen artists merge their personal relationships with their music. Think Beyoncé and Jay-Z with their joint tours. Think Cardi B shouting out Offset mid-performance. But with Ashanti, it feels different because she spent so much of her career being tight-lipped about her personal life. That's what made this reveal so shocking, so electric. And let's not forget, the Bahamas setting made it even more powerful. Paradise Island, the Bahama Breeze Music Festival. It wasn't just a performance, it was an experience. Under the Caribbean night sky, with waves crashing nearby and fans screaming in delight, Ashanti created a memory that will be talked about for years to come. The atmosphere amplified the emotion, making her love confession even more unforgettable. Some critics argue this was all intentional, that Ashanti knew exactly what she was doing. After all, nothing in the entertainment industry is accidental. Did she plan this to spark headlines? Did she know that slipping her husband's name into her set list would send shockwaves through social media? The skeptics say yes. The romantics say no. It was pure passion. The truth? Probably somewhere in between. But here's the catch. Ashanti is also at a pivotal point in her career. She's not the young starlet we first met in the early 2000s. She's a veteran, an icon, a woman who's earned the right to live openly and honestly. So maybe this wasn't about PR? Maybe it was simply about her deciding she doesn't owe the world silence anymore. And that brings us to the larger question. What does this mean for her future performances? Will every show now include a nod to her love life? Or was this a one-time moment of spontaneity that just happened to get caught on camera? Fans are split, but one thing is for certain. Everyone will be watching her next performance to see if she does it again. The emotional weight of this moment can't be understated. Fans who followed her for decades felt like they were finally seeing the real Ashanti, not just the polished performer. And for many, that vulnerability made her more relatable than ever before. But for others, it raised concerns. Could this overshadow her music, turning her legacy into more of a love story than an artistic one? And here's where things get interesting. Because as we'll see in the next chapter, this Bahamas performance may not just be about love. It may also be about power, control, and the way Ashanti is rewriting her narrative in an industry that's tried for years to box her in. When Ashanti dropped her husband's name mid-performance in the Bahamas, it wasn't just fans who took notice. Industry insiders, bloggers, and even some fellow artists immediately began dissecting the move. Was this simply a love-soaked shout-out? Or was it a calculated power play designed to keep her name trending in an industry that thrives on buzz? Let's be real. The music business is as much about narrative as it is about talent. And Ashanti has always had the talent. Her voice, her pen game, her stage presence, all of it is undeniable. But in a world where headlines often overshadow artistry, the timing of this love declaration raised eyebrows. Right now, the spotlight is on couples in the industry. From Beyoncé and Jay-Z to Cardi B and Offset, love stories sell just as much as albums. So was Ashanti just leaning into that formula? Some critics think so. They argue that Ashanti's Bahamas confession wasn't an accident, it was a strategy. By openly declaring her love on stage, she ensured headlines, tweets, TikToks, and endless conversation. And in a digital age where clicks equal relevance, they say Ashanti knew exactly what she was doing. But fans who were there at Atlantis Paradise Island push back on that narrative. They insist the moment felt raw, unplanned, and genuine. According to those in the crowd, Ashanti's smile, her tone, even the way she paused before saying his name, it didn't feel rehearsed. It felt like a woman swept up in emotion, caught in the joy of music and love all at once. And here's where the divide comes in. On one hand, you've got critics accusing Ashanti of blurring the line between love and publicity. On the other hand, you've got die-hard fans defending her, saying this is the most authentic she's ever been. It's a debate that's splitting social media in half, and you can bet Ashanti knows it. But let's add another layer, because while fans were focused on the love confession, others were focused on the business implications. Remember, Ashanti has been rebuilding her brand in recent years. From re-recording her old albums to launching new projects, she's reclaiming her power as an independent artist. Could this moment in the Bahamas have been part of that bigger picture, tying her personal growth to her professional journey? Industry watchers point out that artists who successfully merge their personal lives with their music often see a boost in longevity. Think about it. When audiences feel like they're part of your story, they stick around. And maybe that's exactly what Ashanti is aiming for: legacy, not just hits. But with that move comes risk. Because if love becomes too central to her narrative, she runs the danger of being defined by it rather than her artistry. And we've seen it happen before. Artists who lean too heavily on relationship drama can sometimes get trapped in it, overshadowing the very music that made them famous in the first place. Could Ashanti be heading down that road? Or is she savvy enough to balance both worlds? One thing is for sure, this Bahamas performance put Ashanti back in the headlines in a way few other moments have. Whether it was planned or spontaneous, it worked. People are talking, people are debating, and people are waiting to see what she does next. And in the entertainment world, that's the ultimate win. After the lights dimmed in the Bahamas and the crowd filtered out of Atlantis Paradise Island, the conversation didn't stop. In fact, it only grew louder. Fans flooded social media, clips of Ashanti's performance went viral overnight, and suddenly the entire internet was buzzing with one question. Did we just witness a career-defining moment? Or was it simply a woman in love showing her heart? One fan tweeted, "You can feel it. Ashanti isn't just performing songs anymore. She's performing her life story. And I love it." Another, though, wasn't so sure, writing, "She's too focused on Nelly. We want the music, not a love fest." This clash of perspectives has become the heartbeat of the debate, the split between those who celebrate the vulnerability and those who question the focus. But let's not overlook one crucial figure in this narrative: Ashanti's mother. Yes, her mom was right there backstage, holding her grandson KK, watching her daughter shine. And in that detail lies something profound: the blending of past, present, and future. Ashanti isn't just singing as an artist anymore. She's singing as a mother, a wife, and a daughter. And that multi-layered identity is shaping her performances in ways fans have never seen before. When Ashanti belted her classics like Foolish and then shifted into newer tracks, the contrast was striking. Her voice has more depth now, her movement more grounded. It's as if love, motherhood, and maturity have transformed her into an even stronger version of the Queen fans have adored for 2 decades. Could it be that this next chapter, this new Ashanti will finally be the one that cements her legacy as more than just a star of the early 2000s? Critics are already comparing this Bahamas show to some of her early career highlights. Some say it was even better. And if that's true, if Ashanti really is stepping into a second golden era, then we might just be witnessing the start of something extraordinary. But here's the twist. As much as fans are excited, the shadow of doubt always lingers. Will the love story with Nelly remain steady under the pressures of fame, tours, and the spotlight? Or will this chapter 2 come with its own heartbreak and lessons? After all, we've seen couples in the industry rise and fall on stages just like this. Still, the one thing no one can deny is the energy Ashanti brought to the Bahamas. Love it or question it, everyone agrees she lit up that stage like a woman reborn. And maybe that's the entire point. Maybe Ashanti doesn't care if people think it's too much about Nelly or too much about love. Maybe she's showing us that the power of authenticity, of truly living in your moment, outweighs all criticism. And as the Bahamas breeze carried her final notes into the night, one thing was clear. Ashanti is still here, still shining, and still ready to write the next chapter of her story. A story that fans and critics alike can't stop talking about. So, was this performance a declaration of love, a strategy for headlines, or the start of her greatest era yet? That's the mystery only time will solve. But one thing's for sure, Ashanti isn't just surviving in this industry. She's thriving, transforming, and showing us all that sometimes love really does make the music sound better.